Hello, hello. Happy Friday. This is Anastasia dialing in. We are going to have a really nice Friday session today. Just going to give it a few moments for people to jump in. Hope you had a good week. Hope it was a productive one. It was definitely for me. And I'm ready to wind down. So I hope that we can do this together in a really nice, friendly circle. It's going to be a journey of, I guess, personal storytelling and sharing, and also self-reflection for you guys, ladies, and maybe some gents who are joining. And we are gonna then finish off with a beautiful meditation that I'm going to guide you through. So I hope that we can get started soon. I'm just going to give it a couple of more minutes for people to jump on, and then we are going to jump into it. I wanted to ask you to please, if you can, just to drop a plus in the comments section if you can hear me well and if you can see me well, just to make sure that we have established a connection. So I'm gonna wait until the end of this track that I really love. If you guys can just, yep, yeah, you can hear me well, you can see me well, perfect. All right, let's start. Just gonna quiet the music here. All right, welcome to this live session. I am Anastasia Pash, and today I'm gonna guide you through a journey where we're going to discuss what it means to find your feminine in the masculine world. I'm gonna share my own personal journey, and then we are going to dive into some of your own belief systems and maybe some unconscious mindset frameworks that you might not even be aware of that you might have, and how they might be impacting your life and the way that you express your femininity in your daily life. And then we're going to do a guided practice together. So I am gonna jump straight in. I'll give you a little bit of a background of myself and how I came to be here doing what I do. So I was initially born in Russia, and I migrated to Cyprus when I was 7, and then educated in England, where I earned my law degree. And I've actually moved around quite a lot, living in 9 countries until I ended up here in Dubai, where I've been living for the last 4 years. And I speak 5 languages. And in the last couple of years, I have really found myself truly in things that I'm really passionate about. So I moved away from the things that I was formerly trained in, which was law and my career in finance, to doing startups, and then to transitioning to working on wellness and really leaning into creativity. And a couple of things that I am really proud of that I've done over the last couple of years is I created a platform called Soulbridge, which is a Dubai-based company, and we have a meditation app that is powered by AI that helps you find meditations much easier. So we skip the whole process of having to scroll forever to find the right meditation practice, and just allow you to tell our AI what you are feeling, what mood you're in, and how much time you have. And that brings you recommendations which are completely personalized to you from teachers around the world. I have my own meditations recorded on there, and we have beautiful practices and sound healing journeys from teachers and guides around the world. So I'm really proud of that. It's personally something that I've been using religiously, and it's really been helpful, especially in my postpartum period. And the second thing that I'm super proud about is my book, which I published a few years ago. It's called Travel with Style. And this was a passion project that I created out of my love for travel and culture, but also for personal style and expression through style in our clothes that we're wearing. And so I created this style guide to top destinations, and I self-published it on Amazon, and it's actually been on the Amazon bestseller list for quite a few months, which I was really proud of. And I love to hear reviews and read the comments by women all over the world who use it as their go-to guide when they're traveling. So that's a very cool thing. And of course, one of the leading things throughout my life has been this interest in energy work, in meditation, in yoga, in shamanic healing. And it's really something that I am super passionate about. And I love to share this stuff with other people because these are, teachings and tools that have changed my life. And I love to see how it can also empower women and men to really live the best lives that they can, to really step into their courage, to step into the freedom to be who they want to be, to heal from past trauma, to heal from physical illness, and to really embrace, life, to have the courage to be who they are and really go with the flow instead of trying to go against it. And when it comes to the journey from where I used to be to where I am now, a lot of that had to do with really leaning into my femininity, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And my journey to my feminine power really wasn't a straightforward one because I was raised to be fiercely independent. My mom, who was a single mom, really, made it very clear to me that I should never depend on a man. And she really drilled this down, that I need to provide for myself, that I need to be independent, that I need to be hardworking, and I need to achieve. And so I did that. I studied really hard. I earned a really prestigious degree. I got into a very competitive role at a very competitive training program where there was hundreds of places, of applicants per place. And I pursued a career that was on paper fantastic. I was in the grind mode. I achieved targets. I met deadlines. I flew around the world to different offices. I climbed the corporate ladder, getting bonuses, getting promotions. But deep down, I was deeply miserable, and I was very disconnected from myself. So I was completely disconnected from my body physically. I would drink more than I care to admit, and I would, override my natural instincts and my natural needs to rest, for example, or to connect. And I had relationships with people that didn't fulfill me and that I knew didn't have a future. But I often just overrid those things. And that ended up in a very, very dark and lonely place, even though I was constantly surrounded by people. And so that point of my life really led me into a lot of introspection and search for answers. And one of those searches led me to a shamanic healer in London who held private sessions, but also regular workshops there, and who also brought a visiting shaman healer from Peru to hold sessions and workshops there. And I attended one of these workshops, and this was really the turning point of my life, because this is where I met my teacher. And this is my teacher, Dr. Ruben Orellana. He is a PhD professor. He is an anthropologist, archaeologist, and he was the head archaeologist at Machu Picchu for over a decade. But apart from that, he's also been a trained shaman since he was a little boy. And he's very graceful to share his wisdom and knowledge with people around the world. And this gentleman, he, for the first time in many years, allowed me to feel myself again and to reconnect with my body, and allowed me to release in a safe space the things that I've been holding on to, the stress that I've been holding on to, the fears and the emotions of hurt and sadness that I've been holding on to. And that allowed me to get back in touch with myself and allowed me to heal those parts of me that needed healing. And from that, it was like a switch where I started to move away from this masculine model of just going for it and achieving and really striving for the next big thing, where the goalpost keeps moving. And I started going inwards and asking, what is it that I'm feeling? What is it that I need? What does my body need right now? What does my heart need right now, most importantly? And that led me on a wild journey where I quit my job in finance. I got off the birth control pill, which I was on for many, many years. I got my cycles back. And I started listening to what it is that I wanted. So I started leaning into my passion for storytelling, for writing, for content creation. And that took me on a beautiful journey of self-discovery and adventure and travel. And that's what landed me here in Dubai. And throughout this time, I had these practices with me because that was the thing that allowed me to not only embrace novelty and not only to really stay true to myself, embodying those feminine qualities of trust in the universe, trust that I know what I want and I will be able to have it because it is my right to do so. And it also allowed me to overcome some serious setbacks and challenges. So a couple of years ago, I had a cancer scare where doctors said to me that they suspect I have thyroid issues, and they would like to remove my thyroid to prevent any cancer from spreading into my body. My mom actually had exactly the same situation, and she did go through the surgery of getting her thyroid removed. I didn't want to go down that path, so I said no, and I worked with Dr. Rubin to heal that and to heal my body holistically through various different techniques. And very gladly to me, and obviously to everyone around me, is that the next time I went to get a checkup, it looked fine. There was nothing to worry about. It looked stable. So the doctor said, okay, we'll just monitor it. There's nothing to worry about. And then the other thing, which has been a very big challenge in my life over, the last kind of 5 years, was my fertility issues. Actually, not even fertility. I had several miscarriages. So I got pregnant and then lost the baby 3 times. And after the third time, I was so heartbroken and so lost. And I reached out to Dr. Rubin about it. And we worked together again to overcome this and to close this chapter of my life. And we did. And I am very happy to say that I gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby boy last year. And he's been a beautiful blessing. And so while it hasn't been all perfect, it's really about finding that power in yourself and the support systems around you to allow yourself to, go after the things that you want and desire. But I don't think we all need to go down the masculine kind of dopamine driven goal setting way. That's a wonderful framework, but it doesn't always work for us women. And then there's other tools that are accessible to us that are not necessarily accessible to men, that it's definitely an advantage for us to use. And so I would like to now get into the part where we're gonna talk about some of the beliefs that you might have when it comes to concepts like leadership and success. So my request to you is that you write in the chat whatever comes to mind when you think of a leader. What are the qualities? What do they look like? Are there any phrases that come to mind when you think about someone who's a leader? Please drop them in the chat. Don't filter it, just drop it all in. And then the same thing for the successful woman. So when you think about a successful woman, what does she look like? What does she feel like? Is she given something up? Has she, has she betrayed herself anyway? Anyway, whatever comes to mind, just drop that in the comments box, please. We're gonna read over them and then we're gonna dissect them. This is a really great exercise for self-reflection and for really getting to the bottom of things that you might take as true, as fact, but then once you start looking into it, it might actually appear that they're not quite that. All right, so we have leader, authoritative and bold. Authoritative and bold. And the woman, she looks confident, she feels confident, and she can make her choices. So she's got the freedom to make her choices, right? So let's take the quality of authoritative, for example. When I think of the word authoritative, I think of someone who has a lot of power, and authority, and it's a very top-down approach. So I know what I'm talking about, and I'm telling you what you should be doing. And to me, that feels like a very masculine type of leadership and relational model, so to speak. When it comes to leadership, very often, and I think this is now coming out through more, recent organizational structures like startups and more companies led by women, where the culture and the decision-making process isn't top-down, it's more flat. So people are built up to have the knowledge and the skills in order to make decisions, in order to make the company or the organization work better together, right? I think that's, for me personally, the true definition of a leader, someone who can organize people around them and enable those people to be the best version of themselves in order for the whole organism, whether that's a company, organization, whatever, to work the best that it can as a unit. And it's a question of like how does that come to your mind? Authoritative, right? That word itself, where did that come from? Where did you learn that someone who's a leader needs to be authoritative? And then how does that sit with you personally? Do you like to be authoritative, or do you feel like you would lead in a different way? And if you would lead in a different way, would that make you a bad leader or not? So just think about these things, and then start to question, like, who told you this, that a leader has to be authoritative? Let's look at another one. So we've got courageous and decisive. I think those are really beautiful qualities, and they're definitely attributed to both men and women and great leaders. There's a lot of power in leading from the heart and making hard decisions when courage is required, and also just being able to make decisions, right? That's the number one, let's say, job description task for a leader, is to have the executive function to make good decisions. And so, yeah, I think for both men and women, they're applicable, but it's like, how do you make those decisions? Do you make them from the heart, or do you make them from the head? Do you make them out of a place of fear and often, panic? Sometimes decisions are made in a way that doesn't necessarily align with what we truly feel is right, but we do it because we are either scared of going the way that we really want to, because people might misinterpret it or might judge us, or we are scared of the consequences of really following our heart. And again, that's the whole concept of the femininity in things, right? In all these different areas is, how do we keep true to ourselves, keep loyal to our hearts, not just our minds, and are able to do business and make decisions, make hard decisions, but to make them from a place that is really true to ourselves without betraying ourselves. And a successful woman is compassionate and trustworthy. I love that. I really love that, Teresa. Thank you. Yeah, and so many successful women are exactly that. They are leaders in their organizations, in their communities. They take care of their family, their loved ones, and their general community around them. It's a known statistic that the more uplifted women are, the more uplifted the community around her is. So that is a definite yes, and I agree with that. Are there any more that you would like to share into the chat? right, if there is no more, I would like to invite you to go into a guided journey with me. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Before we go into the guided journey, sorry, I've got another slide I completely forgot about. I just wanted to drop some facts on you, some science facts about the magic in the female body and our cycles. In the shamanic arts, we talk a lot about cycles of thousands of years, and the ascension and downfall of empires and civilizations. We talk about cycles of nature, summer and winter, day and night, and full moon and new moon, and how we, as living beings, actually are super influenced by these cycles. But the modern world has created a paradigm with our calendar, which doesn't align to the natural cycle. It also has a clock that doesn't connect us to the natural cycle, and it keeps us in this constant state of feeling like we're late for everything. And I don't know if you guys have been feeling that. Maybe you can drop that in the comments. Just drop a plus or a 1. But if we are going down this route of modern world, kind of not following the natural cycles, but the calendar, the 24-hour clock, there is this tendency to always feel like you're late for everything. But if you disconnect from that for a minute, and then you start following cycles, and you start building your life around cycles, big cycles like equinoxes and solstices, winter, summer, and really tuning your life into those seasons, life becomes a lot easier, less stressful, and more fulfilling. And for women, it is their natural cycle. Their natural cycle is such a huge, huge powerhouse, because it is this incredible symphony of hormones that fluctuate throughout the month, that allow you to feel more confident in the first part of your period as you go into your ovulation, and then to be more introspective and less maybe outgoing and more introverted, and then to also, while you have your period, to really metabolize and work through the stress hormones that you might have accumulated over the last cycle. So instead of thinking of your period as something annoying or painful or dreadful that happens once a month, once you start really listening to your body and tuning into those cycles, and moreover syncing your life and your calendar to these cycles, you unlock an incredible amount of energy, an incredible amount of power that you can just easily use. Like, it's not an additional thing that you have to make an effort to do or to buy or to invest in. It's literally built into your human body. And it is something that when I started paying attention to, when I got off the contraceptive meds and I got my cycle back, and I started noticing how I feel, and then I started tuning in with what I do in different parts of the month, so that I take advantage of the kind of the power surges and the confidence that I have. And then I use the times where I need to nurture myself, and I need to kind of put things to rest. And it makes life easier, and it makes projects more logical. It makes planning a lot more intuitive. So that's definitely something that I would like you to think about if you haven't yet, because it's a really, really amazing thing. And then the other incredible state that a woman goes through in her life, if and when you're lucky to, is pregnancy, of course. And beyond the fact that a woman literally creates a human being from a single cell, and kind of, I used to tell my husband I 3D printed our son, so go change the diaper. Apart from doing that, which is in itself, if you think about it, incredible. But the strain that your body goes through during pregnancy is equivalent to running a marathon on a daily basis. It is so, so tough. And like women all over the world do it. They do it multiple times and then they do it in heels and then they go back to work. And then if you think about what a woman can do, it's just incredible. And the final thing that I also love to talk about and explore and use is oxytocin. Oxytocin is a happiness hormone, is a hormone of love that helps us to manifest. So if you think about the hierarchy of hormones are obviously very complicated, but oxytocin kind of sits at the very top and it influences the rest of them. And if you integrate oxytocin menu items, and this is something that I can also tell you a little bit about more, into your life, you actually fuel your brain with this happiness hormone. And this happiness hormone can trick your brain into thinking that you already have what you desire. So if you are feeling grateful, if you are feeling love, if you are, flooding your system with oxytocin on a regular basis, and then you're combining that with affirmations or self-programming practice where you're focusing on what it is you want to have, you are going to start attracting and manifesting these things much easier into your life. So this is a little hack that women can use, and it is definitely something that we want to lean into. And without further ado, if you guys have any questions, you can please drop them in the comments now. And I would like to take this minute to give you some time to get comfortable, because we're now gonna dive into a guided meditation. We're gonna do a nervous system reset. It's Friday. You have been working hard all week, and I want you to just enjoy this beautiful practice that we're going to do together to relax, release some of the stress, and go into the weekend feeling grounded and serene. So get yourself comfy and maybe grab a pillow if you can, if you're in a home setting. Maybe grab some headphones, or you can light a candle, or if you've got an incense that you like to burn, you can do it now just to add a bit of a vibe to it. I have my candle burning here, and then I'm also going to light up my favorite Palo Santo. Always helps me get in the mood. Okay. I'm just going to play a track. Can you hear that? I hope you can hear that well and you can hear my voice. So I invite you to get comfortable in your seat, to close your eyes and go inwards. Let's take 3 deep breaths in together. Allow the belly to expand, your chest to rise, and then let them fall effortlessly. And one final deep breath in, deepest breath you've taken all day. Maybe sigh it out. And if you want to move your shoulders, roll your neck. Just get comfortable in your body, arriving back in. We spend so much of our time during the day in our head, always thinking. And we forget to feel, truly feel what it means to be in our body, to embody life. I'd like you to bring your focus and attention to the top of your head, relaxing the skin on your head, relaxing every hair. I already feel people are releasing stuff. That's good. Relax and release the tension on your forehead and your brow. Relax your eyebrows, your eyelids, your eyes. Relax your cheeks and cheekbones, your jaws, lips and tongue. If at any point during this practice you want to yawn or cry or move in any way, or you have shivers, just know that any of those expressions of the body are completely normal and natural, and that's just the body's way of releasing tension and blocked energy. And when I yawn, I'm also releasing stuff from the group, so I'm also helping you do the work. Relax your neck, the front of your neck, the back of your neck. Relax your right shoulder, your right arm, your hand and fingertips. Relax and release your left shoulder, arm, hand and fingertips. Let them get heavy. Feel them resting on your seat or your lap. Relax and release your chest, your diaphragm, your belly. Scan your back for any tension. And try to release and relax while remaining upright in your spine. Relax and release your hips, your pelvic floor. Relax your right thigh, your shin, calf, ankle, foot, and toes. Relax your left thigh, shin, calf, ankle, foot, and toes. Feel as your feet rest, heavy, in contact with the floor, with the earth. Feel your whole body together as a unit, as one living organism. Can you feel the energy around your body? Can you feel the slight vibrations around your physical body? That is your energy, the electromagnetic field that you project into the world. And in here we have all our emotions and our thoughts. And this is what people read and pick up on without us being aware of it, and often without them being aware of it. It's just a knowing. So it's important to take care of this energy field and to clean it the same way that we would clean our teeth or take a shower. So today we're going to take an energetic shower together, where we are going to envision a really bright light that streams from the top into the tip of our head, and then cascades down, all the way down our head, our shoulders, filling up every part, every cell with beautiful pearly white light. This white light fills up your entire physical body, washing away any tension, any darkness, any blocks. And then it expands into your energy body, washing away foreign energy, negative emotions, doubts, thoughts. Really visualize how this beautiful white light is clearing your energy field. Here's where you might feel shivers. Those are signs of blocks being removed. And visualize everything flowing down into the earth. Everything heavy, everything that no longer serves, everything that doesn't belong to you, flowing gently down into the earth for transformation. Focus on the process. Scan your body again for any tightness or tension that you might feel, and wherever you find it, send the white light, asking it to remove and help you release. And sending everything down into the earth. Bringing your focus to your heart center. Giving thanks to yourself and to everybody who's joined us here today to create this beautiful space for this practice. Giving thanks to the light for helping us clear and release. And giving thanks to the earth for taking the darkness and our heaviness and transforming it into something beautiful. And with that, start coming back into your body and take 3 deep breaths in. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back, everyone. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments. How was the practice for you? It's funny, I was planning to do a completely different guided journey, but this is what came through. So I really hope that you enjoyed it and that it was useful and that it allowed you to release what needs to be released. I'm gonna turn down the track now. Let me know how it went in the comments. So if you would like to continue this journey together, if you are curious to do more guided journeys like this, or learn more about mindfulness, meditation, shamanic healing, getting in touch with your natural cycles and how to harness the innate power that we all have in us. There are a couple of ways that you can do this. The first one is the Soulbridge app. So this is available on the App Store, and you can download it, and there you'll find practices by me and also by other fantastic teachers around the world. And this is something that you can get access to anytime, anywhere. So that's a really easy way of doing this. The second way is, of course, one-on-one mentoring. If you are keen on really diving deep into some personal things that you've been dealing with or grappling with, and that you feel like you need a tailored approach to, and someone to kind of walk you through some of the challenges, or you just want to, kind of level up and get to the next level of your life, then that's something that we can do in a private one-on-one work. So that's something that I can definitely help you with. And if you are interested in that, you can just send me a DM and we can hop on another call to talk about what that looks like. And then finally, and I'm super excited about this, is I'm going to be launching my signature program, Serenity and Success, which is an 8-week group program. And it's a container where we come together as a group and on a weekly basis meet to learn about and practice different topics, things that we'll cover in this one. It's the classic sort of working with energy and our emotions and how to harness those for things like manifestation, but also how to integrate things like Ayurveda and Feng Shui into your life, how to improve your sleep, to optimize your health. And in this one specifically, I really want to focus on the power of our hormones and how we can use those to and not use our hormones, how we can tune into our natural cycles in order to allow ourselves to be more productive, less stressful, and just to feel happier and healthier overall. So I'm really excited about this one. It's going to be a really fantastic group. And if you're keen to join that, again, send me a DM and we can jump on a call. I'll tell you more about it. So I will open up the floor to you guys if you have any questions at all. And then we can wrap it up because it is already 5 o'clock. All right, I don't see any questions. I think you guys are all blissed out from the meditation. So I hope that you take this feeling with you through the evening and the weekend. And I wish you a really wonderful rest of the day. And I thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your presence and your energy. And I look forward to staying in touch and seeing you in the next session. Wishing you an amazing day and a beautiful weekend. Bye for now.